Hi Joe, Sam. Welcome to Rangers. Congratulations on the appointment. What do you make of your first kind of week in charge and the building and everything about the club?
Yeah, it's everything that I thought it was going to be. It's really impressive. It's a great environment to work in. I think as soon as you come through the door, you can feel how impressive it is. So for me, I've just really enjoyed getting in here and meeting all the players and getting back on the grass and doing the business.
Probably a bit of a strange question for you, but Rangers scored 111 goals last season.
Yeah.
At times though, there was complaints, maybe weren't attacking enough.
Yeah.
But stats would tell you, So
Yeah.
I was interested to hear about your philosophy being possession based, which was similar to last season. So how do you manage to get through and help the team kind of attack and break down teams in this league that maybe sit in quite a bit?
Yeah, it looks very different, doesn't it, in different leagues and which games you play and the opposition that you faced against. And I think it's important to take each game as it comes. But normally how I like to play is I like to be adaptable. And if a team's playing in a low block, I'm going to give the team the best opportunity to beat that low block. I think that we could have been a little bit forceful last year and tried too hard to score. I think waiting for that moment to take the best opportunity and relaxing in possession a little bit more and not being scared to overpossess the ball at times, but waiting for that moment to attack and being clinical. And I think that's something you've just alluded to, which I spoke to the girls about yesterday, funnily enough. It's scoring when it matters, taking your opportunities in big moments and recreating that out on the training pitch and just putting them in opportunities that they can do it day in, day out and hopefully feel more comfortable when it comes to a Sunday.
Just in terms of your arrival, I mean, when did you hear of Rangers' interest in you and what were those initial conversations?
It was a few weeks ago. It was a bit of a process to get to this stage now, which is perfect, how it should be. There were many conversations, and I think it become very obvious very early that we were aligned in our way of working and how we want to move forward and our plans for the future, really.
Just to Amy, that talked about the process here. What was that process?
I think that given where we finished last season, we were very clear in different aspects of it that we were looking to be able to go and move forward in. So for us, it was about identifying candidates that we felt fit that criteria. And then from there, we went to initial interview, but there was a second interview process, and then also as well, because the club really believe in it, then the chairman and James Bisgrove, along with other senior figures at the club, done the final interview because they're at the heart of the women's programme. They really want to see success across every aspect of the club. So a really thorough interview process, but very targeted in what we knew that we wanted.
You've seen the development of women's football in England and Scotland as well. I mean, what did you make of the Scottish game, like during your time in England? Did you get to watch much of it?
Yeah, I did. I made sure that I took, a close eye on most leagues. Really, I think when you enjoy football and you can see the levels that women's football are going to, you look around you and you look all over Europe. Really, so I did take a close interest in the Scottish League. I've worked with Scottish players previously, so there was my interest as well. I actually came up to the Scotland Republic of Ireland playoff game, so I know a lot of the players. I've played against them previously, and I know that it's a talented league, and I know that it breeds good young players, and that excites me.
Just on that, what sort of period do you think you're joining Scottish football? Then you're seeing a bit of a transition when you saw the crowds towards the end of last season? Definitely,
and I think when you look at women's football, where it's going in general, you saw the jump in England last year where it just went through the roof in a matter of a year, 12 months really. So it was always building in that case, but I think the Scottish League's doing exactly the same. I think where it went boom down south, I think it's just rising just as quickly up here, and you can see the attendances and the viewings that you get on Rangers TV and on BBC Alba. I think it's huge. So it's really exciting, and I think it's a crucial time in Scottish football for women.
Do you see that growth growing, and what will it take for that growth to continue to go that way?
Yeah, I think just making sure that the game is out there. I think once you put women's football on a pedestal, people watch. That's been proven, and you know, the right coverage and the right people involved and pushing it the right way, clubs doing the right things that they should be doing. I think Rangers sit at the forefront of that, and that is something that really impressed me. As Amy alluded to, just the women's team being at the heart of the club, and it shows. Just pushing the game in the way that it deserves, and letting women's football be up there with football in general.
And how excited are you with the challenge that faces you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited. I think I know the pressures that come along with being at Rangers Football Club. There's nobody but puts more pressure on than me myself. I'm a winner. I like to win. So I know that everybody expects us to win. We all expect to win, but it's a process that comes along with winning. And I think we need to understand that as staff, and the players need to understand that as players, and how it looks to be a winner. And that's just something that I'm going to try and bring day in, day out.
You're still a young coach. I think you were retired 2 years ago. How long have you been thinking about getting into management?
Yeah, it's funny. I've always coached. So for as much as I've only been retired a short amount of time, I've coached since I've been 18. So I know it's something I always wanted to do. So yeah, 20 years of coaching at every single level. I made sure that I've coached this high, which was massive for me. I think you've got to always control what you can control, and know who you're coaching and what you're saying. So it was always a long journey for me to learn along the way. Made sure I've coached every level, from kids up to senior football. So yeah, I've got my coaching experiences there, which I always wanted to make sure I did, but I'm really excited to bring it into the managerial side.
And why Rangers and why the SWPL?
As we alluded to earlier, I think just from early conversations that speaking to the club, seeing the direction that they want to go in, and at the forefront of women's football up here, I think it's really exciting. You can see that the growth in women's football in general, and I've been around women's football when it wasn't there, and we were still fighting, and I think we will always have to fight to put it where it should be, but I think that's something that really intrigues me. I like to help the growth of women's football and help to get it where it should be.
How different is that from when you started playing football, the kind of exposure, look at the facilities you've got here, compared to when you started to where you are today?
Well, just this in general,
Yeah.
like it's, yeah, I mean...
Are you still doing backpacking? We used to do backpacks to be able to afford strips and stuff back in the day. So.
And yeah, I think when I first started, I was paying to play. So it's those things. I think both of us have probably had to work full-time jobs to try and maintain a football lifestyle that you want to achieve. But I think that's the beauty of it. We've been in football because we love it, and it's just keeping hold of that love of football, and knowing why we're here and appreciating it, but knowing what levels it needs to get to, and keep fighting for that.
Amy mentioned that you met or had a conversation with James Pisgrove, obviously head of the club at the moment. How reassuring was his kind of enthusiasm and investment in the women's? Yeah,
that was probably the final tick for me, that just to spend some time with seniority at the football club, it's rare in women's football, and I think that just shows just giving their time. It wasn't just a quick passing, I spent a good 45 minutes to an hour having conversations with them, and I think it was good for me to know that they want the right people involved at the club, because you have to work with the right people to get to where you want to go to. So it was a huge tick for me, that listening to them and hearing what they had to say, and just made me even more confident of coming here.
Joe, what's your ambitions with the women's team? Where do you think you could take them?
I think that this club's got all the facilities and everything that it needs to be at the top. I want to make these players better. I want to make these players, believe that they are the best in Scotland. I want this club to just show a way of playing that it's exciting to watch and exciting to play in, to be involved in. And I think, we definitely want to get back into Europe. It's an aim, and that's an exciting prospect to see where we can go on that level. We just want to keep building and keep moving forward, and however that looks along the way is where we're always forward thinking and wanting to be better.
Can I ask a little bit on recruitment, please, if possible? Amy as well. Just how's the dynamic going to work between, obviously Amy's position, your position? Is it, working together to identify the players? Obviously Michelle's arrived already. Are you able to kind of tell us a wee bit about that? And also, can I ask about the future of Hannah Davison and Jenny Danielson, because they haven't returned, and it was something the club had said they were that we're still speaking about. So is it possible maybe for clarity on that?
Well, it's really clear for me because before I came into this, I told Jo that she was to answer any hard questions. So, I think it's really collaborative. I think that last season and in the seasons before, we've had a really structured way of playing. But now it's really important that we adapt to the way that Jo wants to play as well, and identify players that are important for her. So we're currently in a period where Jo's obviously came in to work with the squad. The transfer window is open until September. We're actively looking to recruit other players in for that, but it's a really collaborative and open process that absolutely is collaborative, and we're both on each other's favourites at the moment in terms of how we go about that. And in terms of Hannah and Yenny, we're still having ongoing discussions, but again, for us, the most important thing is that we continue to move forward, and that given the changes that Jo wants to implement to our playing style, and it's really important that we get the players here early to be able to understand that. So we're actively in the market and actively recruiting, but it's very much a collaborative approach.
Can I just ask you as well, just from a club point of view, what attracted Rangers towards Jo's hand, and what was the main qualities that you thought that she demonstrated in coming to the club?
I think it's really important that you have someone that understands the growth and the mindset that is around women's football at the moment. I think that given the journey that Jo's went on as a player, and also the coaching dynamic of that, I think as well we're really clear in every aspect of the club that I think is coming through just now. We want to be really modern and innovative in the way that we approach both on the pitch and off the pitch, which Jo was aligned to. And I think the biggest thing for us is just having good people. And it became really clear to us at the start that Jo's personality, how she wants to manage, her standards, her expectations, her values that run across the club, and our relentlessness to be able to continue and drive the women's programme forward. And all of that combined as we moved through the interview process and we started getting to know each other and then getting to do a deep dive into football, became really clear that Jo was our preferred candidate.
You've obviously been in Jo's position before, you've been in the club a long time. What advice do you give her?
I think I think that I keep talking to Jo and we keep talking about the fact that actually everyone wants to win, but at Rangers you need to win, which is really clear for us. And I think that the biggest thing is to approach the job with honesty. I think the players really value that, but as a club it's became really important for us. And I think that the other thing is that through honesty we can drive the programme to be better. Women's football's moving at such a rate just now that's so difficult to be able to keep up in financial terms, on the pitch, off the pitch. And we need to do it in a step-by-step process, and it's really important for me that Jo understands that. But I think that she's about to realise the full size and scale of Glasgow Rangers.